Hello everybody. Today we are going to be talking about how to draw blood cultures off of a portacath. Caroline's going to be our patient, Kelly is one of the nurses, I'm going to be playing one of the nurses, and we're going to be talking about the different supplies that we now have at Children's. Alright, so Caroline, we had a fever, so we're going to have to be drawing blood cultures. Kelly's going to be my second set of hands for this, okay?
Okay.
Have you ever had cultures before?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be changing the cap on your port, and then we're gonna be drawing blood cultures in these tubes. So, something to note, Kelly, if you wanna hold the old ones, we have two different types of tubes. Now these are plastic ones, and those are the ones that we're more used to, those are the glass. So as you can see, the plastic ones are just a little bit smaller in size, but we confirmed with the lab today that as long as it says this back tech, it's the exact same, so it's just a different supply.
And I think it also needs the same amount of blood as well.
Exactly,
even though they're smaller.
So even though they're smaller, we're still getting at least 5 for our yellow top and at least 1 for our pink top. Perfect. So we're going to be giving everybody masks.
I have to wear a mask for this?
You do have to wear a mask. So because we're going to be entering the line and we're going to be taking off the end piece, we want to keep everybody as safe as possible. So we want to protect you from any germs that we have or anything that you might, we don't want you to cough or sneeze or anything on that piece. So it's just keeping you a little healthier.
Okay.
Alright. So we can change the caps in a few ways. Kelly, do you like to set out your 4x4s, or do you normally just open up your...
I like to set out my 4x4s.
Okay, perfect. We can get that going. That's a great idea. Let's raise our bed so we're not leaning over. Doing good posture.
I don't want you to hurt your back.
Thank you. Perfect. So we have a clean workspace. I love it. So Kelly is now setting up the 4x4s so that we can change the cap first. And as she's getting that ready, I'm just going to talk about some of the supplies that we have here. So we've got our flushes. So when we're changing the cap, we're going to use the same flush that we first infuse and draw back on with your cap change. So that's going to be your first one. So with these blood cultures, this is the newest vacutainer that we have, the bluer one. So typically for a regular blood draw, you'd be attaching that and plugging in your tubes. But with blood draws, because these tubes are vacutainers, it's going to be sucking so much blood from your patient. So you want to be using this pink instead.
So you can't hook those up to this?
No. Exactly. So we're really conscious in our pediatric and young adult population about how much blood we're taking because we take it so frequently. So we have our syringe, and then we're going to be able to measure out exactly how much we need. So at least 5 for the yellow and 1 to 3 for the pink. So then we know exactly how much blood we want to be taking. Wonderful.
Let's see the syringe.
Yeah.
Are you taking other blood too, or just the cultures?
We're just going to be doing the cultures right now. Yeah, but it's a great question. So when we go into the line, we want to minimize entry as much as possible. So we've already asked the providers if they need anything else, and they said that they don't. So all we need right now is the cultures. So Kelly's priming it. Perfect.
Are we full on doing a cap change? Okay. Great. Just gonna clamp this.
Wonderful. So clamped, change. And she's scrubbing for 15 seconds, being very diligent. Perfect.
I'm counting. Are you?
And some patients and families might really count, so you want to be doing it in your head as well.
What am I up to? 15.
Wonderful. Sometimes these can be very hard. So Kelly, what do we do? What are some options? So let's say we have a stuck cap. We can no longer be using our Kelly clamps. So let's
We're not using our Kelly clamps, so sometimes you can use a tourniquet.
Yep.
That helps. Sometimes
Okay.
you can use a glove. That
Yep.
helps. Sometimes you just find a different nurse who's
Sometimes
also
it's just
really
another
strong.
set of friends. So if all of those fail, then we could call our IV team. But we're going to try a few other tricks first and just see if we can get it to work. So we are troubleshooting in real time, my friends.
I got it.
Yay! See, sometimes it's just like the presence of somebody else helping out too. Wonderful. So then Kelly's gonna come in and do another 15-second scrub. So these are still the same materials that we're using. The difference is coming in when we're using the Vacutainer, as we said before. So we're not gonna be using the blue one. We're gonna be transferring using our transfer device after she collects the blood specimen in our syringe. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, so she's flushing, and we've got good blood return, wonderful. We're making wonderful. And then she would be cleaning and attaching her syringe, and then we're just gonna be drawing back, let's see, about 6 cc's of blood, so the minimum amount, so 5 and 1. So then she's gonna hook up her syringe after she scrubs for 15 seconds. Perfect. And sometimes it's nice having a second set of hands just in case you need somebody to be working on the side. So while she's doing that, I could start to clean the tops of my bottles. So we're still scrubbing. Perfect. So she got exactly what we needed out of that. And then the order does matter. So you want to transfer into the pink before you transfer into the yellow. Wonderful. So then we can hand this off, and she kept this very clean. As you noted, she did not put it back in her sterile container or anything like that. We want to keep this nice and clean so that we know when we're transferring, we're keeping our sample as accurate and as safe and clean as possible. Perfect. And then we would be flushing, and then that would be it. So we put one in here, and then we put the rest in here. And then these do not need to be inverted. And Kelsey made this really nice chart. And as you can tell, my blood culture is no inversion. So we are set to go. We just label them and then we're all done.
That's
all right, that is it. You did great.